Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your boy Carcino here, man. Let's get into it. I want to say shouts out to everybody out there that came out to see the fight in Atlanta. If the fight was in Detroit, I might have could have made it. Now, a lot of people were asking me questions about the boxing match itself. What did I think about it? Did it go the way I thought it should go? It's a lot of different things that transpired that could have went differently, but it went the way it did. And there's a lot of people that owe Claressa Shields an apology because they seem to ignore. Well, I would say they probably had good reason to believe she wouldn't be ready and couldn't handle this fight. But Kaye Scott is a big 160. She's in shape. She doesn't have the experience that Claressa has. And this was the sharpest this is the sharpest Claressa has been in a very long time. So we need to really assess how all of this was played out because it was quite interesting to see it hit its like apex. I'm somebody who follows the boxing game pretty closely and looking at certain techniques and how it played out in the field. Well, it was kind of like the difference between winning and losing. When you start seeing that applied in the ring and what's not, you start getting a different appreciation for one, how seriously Claressa took the fight. Both fighters was in tremendous shape. But you can see the skill level and the difference of experience. Now, the fact that she stopped Kaye Scott wasn't surprising to me, but it was the way she did it that made me see her in a light, like, okay, because she's now, I believe, 31? Claressa is like in her 30s now. So as a woman, she's approaching the point where how long can she continue to fight? Because she's been kind of inactive for a while, having a lot of stints of not fighting for a long periods of time. Well, the fact that she's got world-renowned trainer John David Jackson working with her, she has a whole different camp, and you can tell she came into this fight sharp. She came in sharp and more disciplined than I've ever seen her in a boxing ring. So when I start thinking about boxing and putting the punches together, making things count, this is what normally matters to me. Kaye Scott's a much bigger woman than her. Alicia Baumgartner would get stopped. She can't. There's weight limits for a reason. And she is not disciplined and polished enough for Claressa. I know she wants the big money fight, but they'll make money off the fight, but it's a complete mismatch. Claressa will hurt her. Well, the woman she fought has 2 championship belts. Claressa Shields was the challenger. Kaye Scott is the champion. So to say she was a cherry pick, how is the champion going to be the cherry pick? Now, from the very beginning, right, when you start to look at it and you say, okay, well, let's see how they did when they come out. Now, when they came out to the ring, what you started to see was Kaye Scott was leaning all of her weight too much on her front foot. I would have never had her do that. Look at Claressa, though. You see how she's standing? Poised, not giving up position. So no matter what Kaye is doing with her feints, see what Claressa is doing? Patient, not using energy. See, just ready. Don't need to move. Before, Claressa Shields would have been bouncing around the ring, doing X, Y, and Z, right? Kaye Scott is not. She's already throwing right hands without gauging distance. She's throwing feints without throwing jabs. She should be shooting a jab out. She's trying to see if she can get Claressa to bite and respond to her feints. And all Claressa is doing is being patient and watching everything that Kaye Scott is doing. She's not going for the bullshit, in other words. So, okay. All right, you're not going to get me out my box. So this is like what Mayweather would do. Now, Claressa's right hand, right? She was mostly slapping with it. That was a good right hand. And counters. Kaye Scott was making a mistake early. She's trading hooks on the inside, something you don't want to do. She doesn't have the experience. See, she's trying to get the distance. She should have got in, try to smother, and use her physicality on Claressa. But she's not experienced enough to do that. She doesn't know how. But she should have been using her size and her weight, smothering Claressa and forcing her to fight when she didn't want to fight. So Claressa could sit back, rest. Look, you see how she's backing her off? It's because she felt the power. She felt Claressa's power. Boom, another shot. And she's feeling those shots. And her body is reacting to the incoming. Boom, there it is. Another looping right. Followed by a left. Another good right hand. And she's coming with a 1-2 each time. Claressa was sharp. Now, right away, you see how she's rolling her shoulders over? See, she's ready to catch, pop, and come with a 1-2. She's ready to catch the punch on her shoulder and then come with a right hand, left hook over the top. Kaye Scott's going to what she knows. Feint, 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 and come in with a jab. And Kaye is a strong fighter, but she pushes a lot of her punches. Rather than trusting her body and legs to put twerk on the punches, she's arm punching a lot. But she's trying to keep her defense up because Claressa punches is having an effect. And when you let the punches affect you and how you're going to fight, you start getting caught in exchanges that you don't need to be in. See, she's trying to counter in between the shots. But Claressa hits harder than her. She's not as active. And here's Claressa working, 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 working. She's look, that's about a 7-8 punch combination of work, 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 work. Kaye Scott is like, my goodness, what is going on here? And look, she picked that jab right off. It's called a pick stick. She picked her jab off with her right hand and tried to answer with the jab. Claressa has got time to recover and rest and wait patiently. See, yep, she picked that again. Now, what Scott should do, if she sees that Claressa is doing that, come with that jab and come with a right hand over the top, because Claressa's right hand is really low. So when she shoot that jab, she should have came with a right hand right up over it. But she's bothered by the power of Claressa, so she doesn't want to try it. See, she's just trying to counter. That's her whole offense, is to counter Claressa in between her shots. That was her strategy of the night, and land some shots. But Claressa could take her shots, but she couldn't take none of those shots coming back at her. See how she was slapping? She wasn't really putting her weight on it. She just wants to catch her in a counter in between shots. But you see how patient Claressa is? Boom, straight right hand. Boom, she got caught with a hook because she stayed in there. What Claressa has to do in future fights is not everything is going to be a 1-2 combination. You can't keep telegraphing the combination. Smarter fighters will be able to counter that and stop that. No, Claressa has power. You know why? Because she got that big old wagon puller behind her, and she can turn in on shots. And people don't think Claressa hits hard. She hits hard. She's strong. Shot to the body, shot up top. Claressa should have stepped to the side to get more twerk, but she's throwing the shot short. Does he really love her? I don't know. I don't really care about that. Look, you see how she's doing? Oh, throwing the jab to meet her. Boom, another jab to back her up. Right at the body. See that? She's trying to get her to faint to get her hands to come down. Boom, so she could throw the 1-2 over the top. Claressa, if you want to faint like you're going to go to the body and then go up top with the jab. She's trying to 1-2 her because, see, that's all she wants to do is counter. She doesn't want to lead the offense. Kaye just she's comfortable with countering. See, she's ready to jump back every time she punches because the punches, she's feeling them. And Claressa is trying to loop the shots over because she really wants a knockout. See, she wants to get her out of there. So Claressa fought this fight is, I'm trying to stop this girl. Boom, boom. Because she knows her punches is having effect. Yeah, I mean that would explain why her right hands was not doing what she wanted it to do. She also fractured one of her fingers too, training for this fight. So it was a grueling camp. But she's from Flint, so she's tough. Slip, slip, slip. See, Kaye Scott is just fighting her shoulder. She's basically Mayweather in her the entire time. Look, she jumps back out, patient about it. Mm. I always like Claressa Shields because she tries to do what she can, but this whole papoose and all this extra, that's a bit distracting, from the actual fight game. But as you can see, look, see how she's working the stick. Now look at her face. Look at Claressa's face in here, and you get to see what Kaye Scott sees. You see that? Look. You see how serious she looking? Like, look, she's not worried. Look at it. See, this is mentally breaking your opponent. You see what she's doing? She's baiting her. Come on. Come on. Look at her face. Boom. She's fighting at her pace. Look at that. See? Look how she's staring her down. Bit. Woo! She's breaking her down mentally. That's mentally breaking your opponent. You're standing right in front of them and you staring, piercing through them, telling them you are not doing anything here. And when you see them break the opponent, then you can attack like Claressa's doing. Kaye Scott's trying to catch her with a shot on the inside, but she's only going to throw a couple and she wants to hold. Claressa wants to work. Now, as big and strong as Kaye Scott is, Claressa is stronger. She could physically move this girl any way she wants. This was the most polished T I ever seen her. Man, I wish you was here last night, T. That live stream was crazy. When the whole schedule came out and the way they did the Pistons schedule, man, is crazy. They trying to do the Pistons in and do us dirty. I know. That's how I tell them they don't know. They keep talking cherry pick. She cherry picking. I'm like, this is the champion. She's the challenger. She's fighting for 2 belts. Now the lady she gonna fight after this, if she do fight, is the best lady in the division. Oh yeah, we gonna beat the Knicks, and we gonna still be 1 and 2 in the division. No matter how hard they try to make the schedule for us, we're gonna break those teams down. But all those road games, dog, is ridiculous. And the way they gave the 76ers the cupcake schedule, the 76ers don't play a West Coast team into 18 games in the season. They don't play a West Coast road game until the 21st. They don't start their West Coast trip till December. It's crazy. They got the less three games out of 4 nights and the less back-to-back games than anybody else in the league. King of the Great. Oh yeah, same thing they was pulling in LA. I just wanted to see what they gonna bring it. And the Lakers got 7 road games in a row. First time they had done that since 2016, Kobe's last season. Oh, good right hand. Yep, she felt that. See, inside fighting, see, Kaye, she wants to throw punches. She's just not as polished and don't have a lot of experience. She's just strong and she just lacks the boxing IQ. But she's a tough girl. Nice shots. You see how she slips back out of that position? Look how she comes back. 1, 2. She tried to clean her, but she was way off balance. Man, she loaded up on that one. She tried to do her right before the bell. Now, here's when you're starting to see a difference. You're starting to see the wear and tear on Kaye. You see how just off head fakes, she's defensive minded, not offensive minded. See, now she's going to full protection with no punches was being thrown. Boom. She got caught early. See, with the counter left. She's once again boxing Claressa's shoulder all night. Claressa just kept up fighting the shoulder. Good jab. But here's the problem. She's not stepping into punches. Like, she's not confidently coming forward and putting some force behind the punches. She's almost like arm punching. Yeah, but look where Claressa Shields' hands are. She's in a defensive and offensive posture like Floyd. She could catch it with the pick it off, and come with a jab. See how quick the jab was? And it made Kaye Scott have to reset. See, she's more concerned about the incoming. Oh, and there it is. Big left on her chin. Boom. Right again. She's still trying to hook with Claressa to try to catch her in between shots. But she's not as polished enough to do that or set it up. Boom. Another right. Boom. There you go. Woo, 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 woo. Cracked her. She's gone. That left. Oh, yeah. Boom. Whoo. That would have really cleaned her. Bang. She's like, where are we at? Bang. What town I'm in? Oh, God. I'm going down. So the ropes kept her up. Well, women boxing isn't that like that, Mr. King of the Greats. Claressa only has 19 fights. Yeah, it was tough. It was really tough fight. You know, when you get in a ring with somebody like Claressa Shields, you're definitely going to feel the experience more than anything. Yeah, they want to protect her. Like, she shouldn't even been able to continue. She is not in any form ready to continue. I knew she was going to win, but there's a lot of. I mean, she was a 30-1 favorite. But it was the sharpness. Claressa was in the best shape of her life. Now she's just throwing straight power. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, they knew she was gonna be in trouble. She wasn't gonna make it. Her corner threw like the towel, somebody else's towel. Everybody who had a towel threw it in the ring. And that's what it was. It was a great fight for Claressa Shields. I mean, the Ray J and Orlando, I don't even know what to call that. Orlando Brown crap. That was just, yeah. That's just, I don't even know what they doing. That's a Zeus production. Man, it was funny, man. Yesterday, T. Doggone, what's his name? They got caught. They got caught out there. And it was funny. They both had the same part. They both got caught in the same lie. First, it was Roe made a mistake and got caught. But man, I swear, Tone caught them, Big Tone caught them in the same lie. And then hours later, LB come in the chat and say the exact same thing wrong. And Tone was like, didn't I tell you they all get the same email? What's up? Respect, Fila. He's like, didn't I tell you they get the same email? All these Nick fans. I want her to put leather on Baumgartner. She would hurt Baumgartner. Baumgartner is too small. Yeah, look, she was hurt already. Yeah, her balance is gone. She was through already. Boom. Boom. Oh, hell yeah. But as you can see, man, she was in trouble. Started with the right, left hook, boom, cleaned her. Right? She ate that one. She came right back again. Tried to trade. So she already buzzed off the first one. But here she go. Reset again. Same combination. Claressa's going to come with the right hand lead with the left hook. Whoa! Once again. Now that was enough. I mean, you know, she was going to be able to take. Now she was tough enough to take them, but yeah, that one really broke her. Boom. She tried to do it again and clean her. She kind of rushed it. If she was patient, she would have caught her with the same shot again. Boom. Just that glance at right hand, she was still drunk. Balance is gone. That left hook cleaned her. Woo! Clean. Right hand came through all that. Boom. T-Rex. Boom. She saw Remy Ma in there. They were like, get Remy Ma in there. I'm like, Remy Ma is a shooter. She ain't no fighter. Claressa Shields will beat the snot out of her in a fight. No, I'm like, she from Flint. That's why I keep telling these people. I'm like, look, she been doing all this. I'm a bad bee and all this, but Claressa is from Flint. Everything about her is Flint. Her attitude, everything, Flint. Right. It's a certain type of difference. When you from Flint and you from other places, people can tell you, like, look, it's different. It's a different world. Detroit people are different from Saginaw. It's just a slight difference. But Detroit people, they move like this. Especially Flint people too, but mostly Detroit. If you tell them you gonna do something, don't tell them you're gonna do something and you ain't gonna do it. Whole different world than where you probably come from. I'm gonna tell you, don't do that. Especially when some guys are from Flint and Detroit. If you tell somebody you gonna do something and you don't do it there, it means a whole lot more different. In California, that's just like, who cares? We just lie to each other every day. It don't mean nothing. Nah, you in Michigan and you tell somebody from Flint, hey man, I'm gonna be there, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be there at 6:30, man. And all. They gonna see you. You will get seen behind some stuff as that. Like, dog, you said you was coming by my grandma's 2 Thursdays ago. I ain't seen you since then, dog. You said you was gonna be there at 6. They hold you to your word. They will hold you to your word. Is Eminem from Detroit? He's from the outer part of Detroit, but he hung out in Detroit all the time. He know everything about Detroit. So I was calling Detroit, but the 8 Mile was not really considered Detroit ever until Eminem. So oh yeah, so yeah, they're not prepared for that. Yeah, I know, but
had my hand raised in victory, but Claressa was just too good. We're healthy, we're safe, and that's the biggest thing. Thanks for all the check-ins, and I'm gonna go on a holiday, going to California. Peace. To be honest, I probably was a little bit nervous going into it because I wasn't sure whether the media do sway little things, and I was like, oh, I don't know whether what's going to happen. But there was absolute respect the whole way through it. She was very, very sportsmanlike and polite the whole way through. Like, she still held her own and like spoke the way she should because she has all those accolades. But yeah, no, I felt absolutely respected the whole time through. That was Dimitri and Claressa the whole way through. So I think it's a little bit of a negative narrative that's not true, or it didn't apply to me.
What was the biggest surprise in terms of actually being in the ring that maybe you weren't anticipating?
It's probably, if anything, I actually thought the speed. It was probably like, she's definitely strong, but it was the punches coming quicker, and I couldn't match that.
I lost the weight, that's made me look quicker, but I ain't
Pat, you've been around superstars your entire professional career. Talk a little bit about Claressa's star power and what makes it different from what you've seen coming up.
I mean, I've been around the best of them, you know, and I've never seen nobody like her. Very, very, very smart. She maps everything out, and her discipline is also something I've never seen before. Dedication, very passionate about the sport. And, you know, of course, you can see that, and you know, I mean, that speaks for itself. But the gentleman over here, he asked the question earlier, and I just wanted to say, you know, they always, every time we announce her new opponent, Dimitri, Brother Rule, and all of us, you know, you always got the haters who start trying to talk down on her opponents. But if you look at reality, what really happens is after they fight Claressa, I can name two different opponents, Lonnie Daniels and Danielle Perkins, who went on to get knockouts in their very next fight. So when you look at Floyd Mayweather, the fighters look amazing. But when they get in there with Mayweather, they look like shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and not to say it like that, but Claressa is so, no, for real, but I don't disrespect fighters. Like, I see what it takes to get in that ring. It takes a lot. I see the sacrifice and the commitment, everything that she makes. What I'm trying to say to y'all is, don't allow these haters to talk down on her opponents. Kaye Scott, as you can see, she was strong, she was tough, she stood in there all the way to the end. So what I'm saying to y'all is, they downplay her opponents, but when her opponents fight somebody else, they look great. She's just so talented that, unfortunately, she makes them look bad. So kill that narrative. It's a fake narrative about, oh, she's fighting this, oh, they're not this, they're not that. It's cap. It's a lie, bro. Like I said, two of her opponents, after they fought her, went on to knock out.
The girl's name is gonna beat me.
That's it. I don't want to repeat myself. But yeah, to answer your question, all the superstars I've been around, I've never seen nobody in her caliber.
Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kaye.
Hold on one second. That's my dad.
Thank God for the first God for allowing me to speak. And thank God for my gift that he gave me. But y'all keep believing this. She was a middleweight. She is a middleweight. And she come from a middleweight. So she gonna stay and gonna rule the middleweight division. And this is only third trip in undisputed.
I'm not, so I only been two-time undisputed at 60,
Right.
but when I get the rest of the belts again, I'll be two-time undisputed.
Right.
Yeah.
And continue doing what no one else has ever done. I've seen many fighters go from one weight to the next weight, but I've never seen anybody that goes to those different weight classes and represent every damn weight class. That says all it needs to be seen.
My man.
Look at Pops. Look, Claressa went and got a Pops. Now, here's the thing about Pops. Pops done been in jail and wasn't around, you know, but she still love her Pops. You know, that's her father. And the movie was great. You know, the movie was great. Of course, if Baumgartner want to go up the middleweight and fight Claressa Shields at 160, she's insane.
As the footage spread across the story, while the public demanded,
I mean, they literally came out the gate. When MVP first came out the gate, announcing that they were a promotion, They came out the gate calling Amanda Serrano the real GWOAT. And all through the comment section on that post, all you seen was the GWOAT is Claressa Shields. The GWOAT is Claressa Shields. I had to literally send them paperwork and tell them, stop using GWOAT. That is trademarked, is owned, it's mine, it's me. They thought that they were just going to come out the gate and just take my whole identity and push the little black girl from Flint to the side, and didn't know that my brand was strong. My brand was strong. My fans were loud, and they couldn't come over and take over women's boxing and do nothing.
Analysts watched how quickly the narrative completely shifted, while fans debated whether the confrontation.
Now, MVP is trying to use Alicia Baumgartner to go after Claressa Shields because they couldn't sign Claressa Shields. So let me tell y'all about the politics that's been going on behind the scenes. See, they want Claressa Shields. And since they got their Netflix deal, you know, with MVP and, you know, Jake Paul and all of them, like, they start talking bad about Claressa every fight, you know, trying to talk her because they want to sign her. But they trying to use her to build up Amanda Serrano, trying to say, oh, she's got the largest viewership for any female fight, the most people to ever watch they fight. And it was like, that's a lie. Claressa Shields like, I got that record. She was like, they never had that card on their own. They built that off Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. They were on the undercard. So how did they break a viewership record? They're not the headliners. So they try to do everything they can to change the narrative. And now they're using Alicia Baumgartner to try to lure Claressa Shields out. It is a business play. It's a marketing play. And they were hoping that that fight would get made. And she's just like, no, it don't even make sense. Because one, she's too small. Y'all don't have a fighter that could mess with Claressa. But Baumgartner doesn't care. She's loving the attention. As you can see, y'all brought that up and brought her name up like she's a viable opponent. She's not a viable opponent. She would be hurt. She makes a lot of mistakes. And she would be hurt. She thinks her speed and everything. I'm like, Claressa is just as strong as her.
No boxing.
Saturday night, I did hear about what happened after it happened. She was a guest of the event, and she was a guest in a Netflix specific VIP invite only area. And for that to happen reflects poorly on MVP, reflects poorly on women's sports, on sports as a whole. And there's no doubt there was a back and forth conversation between her and Alicia. But nobody raised a hand other than Claressa. So for us, I would have hoped she would have come out with an apology, but she didn't. She actually texted me that night and said, like, I had a great time. Thank you so much. I didn't respond, confused that what had happened, and that was the text that I had gotten. And I'm disappointed that this is what has had to have happened. But if you're gonna conduct yourself that way in a non-fight week.
Yeah, so he's crying about Baumgartner getting slapped.
Raleigh Romero versus Teofimo Lopez.
Okay, Claressa and
so Claressa gave her back her titles so she can keep her belts and take them home, and they're gonna mail Claressa her titles after she won. Mm-hmm. Well, fighters are gonna do what they do. They fight. Duh.
Easy work.
God literally chose me to be number one, and I trained to be number one, and I diet, and I run, and I continue to never be complacent. So
The moment the referee waved off the fight, the entire arena erupted into absolute chaos. Ringside cameras quickly panned over to boxing royalty to capture their unfiltered reactions. Floyd Mayweather nodded with deep approval, clearly impressed by the disciplined timing and slick shoulder rolls that mirrored his own legendary defensive playbook.
Big Sam, hey. You better show my prediction. Yeah, I did. Okay. You predicted the stoppage. She stopped her. You called it. Greatest woman of all time?
Thus far,
Thus far.
as of right now,
Yes, sir.
she's a killer.
You have a good time?
Right now, like I said before, when it comes to like just female sports, she's at the top. And I'm gonna continue to support her. I need everybody to support her. She's unbelievable, man. I'm proud of her.
Yeah, yeah. How about the event?
Come on now. That's what we do. We show love, we show support.
Yeah.
We show love, we show support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Black love.
Crazy. Crazy.
Come on now. You know I'm gonna come see you, Ush.
Crazy.
Terrence Crawford stood up from his seat, hyped and cheering, openly saluting the way Shields transitioned seamlessly from defensive setups into ruthless offensive finishes.
Yep, I got you.
Now, yep. That's what they killed me. They call it a cherry pick, but if she'd have lost, y'all have been, look, Claressa Shields lost to this girl. Y'all have been so hyped. All for the matchup. That's why I'm just laughing at y'all, man. Y'all just go against y'all selves so much. It's crazy. What's next for her? I don't know. I mean, she can go out to the ring champ. That'll be a good fight. She said she won it. She won all three of the belts because she had them. She coming back to get them all again. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we want people to see what happens in those scenarios and that form, that likeness. So, yeah, we'll see it when it's all played, said and done. But it is what it is. I'm going to holler at y'all. Deuces.